I'll teach you everything you need to know about setting up Roblox Studio in 5 minutes. When you first open Roblox Studio, it might look a little something like this. You have a lot of stuff going up on here and on the sides and everywhere. This top part we're going to leave as is. Everything else I'm just going to close it to show you how to pop everything back up that I'm going to be using. And if you want to set your thing up like I am going to have mine set up in this series, then follow along with what I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to go over these tabs at the top right here. The first one is the Home tab, and it has some of the most used tools that you'll be using very commonly if you're developing games. It lets you manipulate and add objects, and it also lets you test your game out. The Model tab lets you further manipulate parts, and you can see some of the Home tab features like these tools over here. But it also has a lot more than you saw there too. The Avatar tab we are not going to really be using, but as the name implies, it's just for messing around with avatars, which are like characters and stuff like that. The Test tab lets you run and play your game, so you can test it out. For now, we will only be using the play/run over here, but I will show you some other stuff in the future, maybe. The View tab controls what you can see on Roblox Studio, and we'll get back to this when we actually add all the other things that I made you close out at the start. The Plugin tab, we are not going to be using this either, but it lets you use user-created features, which are known as plugins, to help you develop. But be careful because some of these plugins can mess with your games. They're referred to as viruses sometimes, so make sure they're reliable. But the popular ones that you see have a lot of favorites and likes, they should be fine. Alright, so I deleted my stuff by exiting out of everything, and I'll show you how to add those back in case you don't have some of them, or if you want to put them exactly like I have them set up for the series, I'll show you how to do that too. First, you'll want to go to the View tab because that's where most of the stuff is going to be. You're going to need the Explore tab for this series, and I'm going to keep mine on the right side. If yours is somewhere else, just grab in this little rectangle where the name is, and you can see this little cross in the middle. Put it all the way to the right side. That's where I'm going to have mine. The property section is going to be on the left side. Again, if yours isn't right there, just go ahead and grab it to the cross all the way to the left side. For the output, you're going to want to click this little icon here, the second one in the top row. And I want mine to be right underneath the properties. So hover it over the properties box and put it right underneath. I'll make mine a little thicker. And something that we're not really going to be using, but I always like to have, is the command bar. Yeah, we won't really be using this, but if you want to have yours looking like mine, just go ahead and add that. It doesn't take up that much space. You'll be fine. Something else that I have is this little icon up here. It just shows you how the camera is oriented in the world. If you want that, just click the view selector right here in the action section. The command bar is optional, and so is the view selector. The view selector is optional. And the last thing that I have is in the Model tab. It's this Insert Object thing, which lets you insert objects. This is also optional, but I like to have it. I used it from back in the day, so I just like to have it. And I don't want it taking that whole bottom section. It does not need to be that big. So I just keep it in the middle section like this. Drag it to the cross and to the bottom, and bam. This is going to be the setup. Feel free to adjust this and adjust this however big you like. It should be fine like this. So that's how you do it.